So, honorable members, the security of Europe's external borders is a key priority for the Commission. It's at the heart of our migration and security policies. It is essential for safeguarding freedom of movement within the Schengen area, but also it's linked to the way that we want to live, secure and free. I am very proud of what we have collectively managed to achieve in this area during the last 5 years. Over these last 5 years, our capacity to strengthen our borders has been tested. It has been tested in a way that was unprecedented. It has been tested in Evros, in Lampedusa, in the borders of Poland, Latvia, Lithuania, with Belarus. It was tested in Ceuta. It was tested in the Canary Islands. It was tested in the Finnish-Russian borders. And it was tested in Cyprus. In response to all these challenges and difficulties and threats, we have acted decisively, both on the ground where this crisis happened, but also on the regulatory front, where regulatory improvements were made that would serve many generations to come. Let me start with our decision to adopt the Schengen Borders Code that will adopt all these robust checks at our external borders during crises, such as pandemics or hybrid threats. And of course, the Migration and Asylum Pact, our flagship regulatory achievement that will reinforce our preparedness to assure that in the future, any given situation could be handled by appropriate regulatory response. This will include this new screening regulation, establishing clear and common rules for identifying, registering, and assessing the health and security risks of individuals entering the EU. A crisis regulation that further strengthens our response, and of course, the entry-exit system that will track visa-exempt and short-stay visa holders' movements, helping us monitor overstays. Following that, the European Travel Information and Authorization System, also known as ETIAS, will pre-screen visa-exempt travelers before they enter the Schengen area, assessing risks related to migration, security, and health. And only yesterday, we adopted the final piece of this overall puzzle, the digitalization of travel documents. This would help us streamline border processes, allowing travelers to submit documents in advance, facilitating the mobility of people and goods. As a result of all this, our external border would not be just a geographical line. It would be a place where our regulatory might will be evident and will apply. When someone arrives at Europe's external borders, something must happen. You cannot just cross in. And we have now built, with the help of this House, this robust, cohesive, holistic regulatory response that would precisely help us to cope. And to support these initiatives, we shall also have provided unprecedented financial aid to our member states. The budget for border management in the European Union has more than tripled over the last 3 financing periods. With EU funding, for instance, we have facilitated the purchase of nearly 1,500 pieces of equipment, 145 land transport vehicles, the processing of 168,000 digital visa applications, and we have funded significant investments to make our EU information systems interoperable. That means that we'll provide border guards across the European Union in real time with vital information. Of course, this is only one part of the EU response. There is the other one, equally important, which is the operational support on the ground with our law enforcement agencies, Frontex and Europol. Frontex is building a standing corps of 10,000 officers to support border management, oversee returns from member states to third countries, and help third countries protect their borders. Currently, Frontex has 19 operations ongoing at our external border, with major efforts along the EU external eastern land borders and the Mediterranean Sea. Frontex expansion has been impressive over the last 5 years, and we are ensuring that this growth respects human rights and operations are fully compatible with the model of society we stand for. Our President, Ursula von der Leyen, has proposed tripling the standing corps to 30,000 officers as part of the next financial periods. This will enhance our ability to respond to hybrid threats with the active participations, we hope, of all our member states. Europol is also playing a key role in that respect. Currently, Europol has deployed experts at our external border in 10 of our member states. We have Europol's Migrant Smuggling Center that supports member states' investigations and increases cooperation among law enforcement agencies that helps them prosecute smugglers and networks. And of course, we need an even stronger role for Europol to combat smuggling. The legislative proposal on the table to enhance Europol support to prevent and combat smuggling should be swiftly adopted. And of course, let us not forget the third element of security in our borders, which clearly has to do with the building of constructive, comprehensive, win-win partnerships with third countries of origin and transit, based on shared interests and covering a wide area of policy spanning from security, investment, economic cooperation, energy, trade, and yes, Erasmus scholarships too. We will mobilize everything we have to help these countries of origin and transit, to provide better conditions for their people, to have better lives there, instead of putting their lives in the hands of the smugglers. Positive results are being already evident along the central Mediterranean route, particularly through our cooperation with Tunisia and Egypt. The technical dialogue with Libya is also yielding significant results, and we're strengthening cooperation with Mauritania and Senegal, providing these countries with resources for rescue at sea and border management. Finally, in the Western Balkans, Frontex is increasingly present through new status agreements with these third countries. These status agreements allow Frontex to deploy border management capabilities on the ground in new key areas of these routes. And of course, when it comes to fighting smugglers, last year we launched the Global Alliance to Counter Migrant Smuggling, a key initiative for prevention, response, and protection. We now have already concluded these anti-smuggling operational partnerships with Morocco and Tunisia, and we are working on all other routes. Honorable members, let me conclude by saying that this impressive amount of work along both the operational and the regulatory track has made significant progress in securing our borders. Europe's borders are not unguarded. And as we modernize our capacities through digital systems and as we strengthen our partnerships, we at the same time continue to remain vigilant and continue to push for a stronger, more agile response to evolving threats at our external borders. And we, of course, count on the precious help of the European Parliament to support us. Thank you.